Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today we're going to be talking about my 2017 wrap-up and my 2018 resolutions. Words. Hard. Tough. Yes. Anywho, so 2017 was a decent year. At this point, I've read 192 books, and I plan to have finished another 8 by the time that this month is over. So I'll have read 200 books by the end of this year. That is my goal, and I feel pretty good about that goal, and I think it's a decent amount of books, especially for somebody who is unemployed like myself. I definitely think that there was some lack of diversity within my reading. So I could have read more sci-fi and fantasy, and I could have read more nonfiction. I missed reading Fabulist fiction. I read a little bit of it, but I didn't read a whole lot of it. And if you don't know what Fabulist fiction is, I plan to do a video in 2018 giving you some recommendations, but in the meantime, I will link Mercedes' video talking about Fabulist fiction. So I didn't read as much of that as I would have liked, but what I did read, I enjoyed. I found that this year was pretty hectic for me mentally and physically, and I definitely struggled this year personally. So for me to have still read 200 books is a pretty big feat, and I am pretty impressed with it. I found myself with 10 favorites, which is 5% of my reading, and I'm okay with that. So I will be doing that in tomorrow's video. With as many books as I have left to read, I still could potentially find another favorite, but I don't think that I will have enough time to let it mull and sit with me to really decide whether or not it's a favorite. All of these books that I have picked as favorites are ones that have sat with me and I've kind of mulled over, and they've stayed with me, and their rating has stayed the same, versus some of the books that I read this year, the rating was higher when I first read it, and it has dropped since. Will I go back and fix that on Goodreads? I am undecided, but it's a thing. So my goal this year was one goal, and that was to read a 600 to 1,000 page book every single month, and I was able to achieve that goal minus 1 month, and I am really good with that, so well done. I am very excited to have said that that worked out well. Next year's goal is to read 1 book a month that is nonfiction, and to read as many Shirley Jacksons as I can get my hands on. I'm not going to put out the idea of reading all of Shirley Jackson's work, just because there are some works that are out of print and I can't get a hold of, or there are some works that are in a short story collection that I don't want to pick up because it has... So there were about 4 different versions of the short story collection with the lottery, and I own one of those, and I plan to just stick to that one. I believe that some of the other ones have other short stories in them that are not published in the short story collection that I have, but I don't want to own the lottery 4 times, if that makes sense. So I'm going to stick with what I have. I think I'm only missing... No, I don't think I'm missing anything. I think I have all the books that I want to read, which is great. So that means that I can start in January. I don't think there's enough for me to read a book a month. I think that there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. So almost a book a month. Some of them might bleed over from one month to the next because they're short story collections. So I think in all, it'll take me all 12 months to read all of Shirley Jackson's works that I want to, but I will succeed in doing that. So those are my resolutions, and that is how my year went, and it's pretty basic. I don't have stats. I'm sorry. I can tell you right now that I read about 10% of my books were nonfiction, about 5% of my books were fantasy or sci-fi, and the rest were fiction. So really not that much of a diverse casting of books, but what are you gonna do? I plan to read more diversely as I can. I plan to read more own voices and see what I can do. And as always, I plan to work with publishers as much as possible and see what I can get from those who haven't worked with me before. You know, I just want to have as many versatile publishers working with me as possible. It's hard to get to work with all of them because I have fewer subscribers than larger channels, but that comes with the territory, and hopefully in this year I will hit either 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers, and that would be wonderful. I would be very excited to get to that point. So that is everything, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day of Vlogmas, and I will see you there. If you have any questions, comments, or quandaries, go ahead and comment down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, click that subscribe button, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!